off. Don't you go off on these folks. Hey y'all, welcome. Have a seat. We ready to tap into your energy. Share this video out. Make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend. We don't want anyone to miss this message. Go off. Go off then. Little drummer boy. Little drummer boy is here. We have such a great message for you guys. Welcome everyone. If you're new, okay. Hey. What is that? Taimon? Hey, Taimon. Welcome. I hope I said your name right. We're so grateful to have you here. God bless you. Welcome to our channel if you've never been here before. We are so pleased to have you guys in our energy. Okay, we look forward to giving you a great message that will motivate, inspire, and encourage you. Okay? We want to give you some positive energy with the drums right now. I want you to really feel the beat. Okay?
The ancestors call.
You know, the ancestors are here with us, and we want you guys to really vibrate before we tap into this energy. We got the Hierophant on the drum, aka Little Drummer Boy. Okay? Make sure you guys leave a thumbs up if you love the video. YouTube likes thumbs up. So if you love us, please put a thumbs up. If you're new here, welcome. Subscribe. Why aren't you subscribed yet? Okay? We love you over here at Elemental Beings, right? If you're looking for daily encouragement, motivation, right, and spiritual messages from people that are highly intuitive and tapped into the energy of the Most High. If you're looking for something that's not going to, make your mind ponder on your past, and you're looking to elevate and vibrate in your highest vibration, then this is definitely the channel for you. Hey, everyone. Thank you, Fire Snap. Welcome. I'm sorry, y'all. Twitch sidearm. Hello. Thank you guys for joining. We are so grateful to have you here. Welcome to the Soul Tribe. Okay. If you're new here, I am High Priestess Lala, and we have the Hierophant. Together we make Elemental Beings, your everyday spirit guides, guiding you on your path to your higher self, your higher consciousness. Okay. Don't leave. We got a message. Drum roll, please. Welcome, everyone. We are so glad to have you here. Again, if you are new to our channel, welcome. I'm glad you're here. I'm sorry it's your first time. You have missed so many messages, but check out the page, okay? You won't be disappointed for your spiritual rap, your spiritual messages, and your spiritual encouragement, okay? So we're here to get a message out for you guys, okay? If you're not into tarot, oracle cards, spiritual energy reading, this is not the channel for you, because that's what we do here. Okay, so I ask that you exit now. I do summons in the energy of Archangel Gabriel,
as well as the energy of Archangel Michael for clear and concise messages.
Okay, all praise to the Most High.
By water, we connect with spirit through pure intent.
Okay, and Ashe to the ancestors. We connect with spirit through pure intent. Again, we are so glad to have you guys here. Our duty as divine messengers are to speak truth into people and situations and calling people back to God, warning of the consequences of not doing so, and reminding people of God's promises and his justice and judgment, right? So that's what we're here to do. Before we started, I heard the name Jasmine, Yolanda, and Michael. Okay, this could be your name or this could be significant here. Okay. I also seen the number 47. So you could be 47 years old. You could have a 74-year-old grandparent. You could be 74 years old. But there's something about 74. This could even be your address. Okay. I feel like, before I get into this message, Spirit is really, you got something to say? Okay. Spirit is wanting me to remind you guys that we are in World War III, okay? It's spiritual, right? So you could be feeling a lot of energy around you right now, divine being, and it's thick, okay? But the energy that is being projected right now is false energy. See, the energy of evil can only mock God, right? Can only wish or attempt to be God, right? But this energy will never prevail, okay? I feel like there could be so much negativity around right now that could be trying to consume you to forget who you are, okay? But Spirit sent me here, God sent me here, the Most High sent us here to remind you of your divine path, your divine purpose, and who you are. So as we pull these cards, I hope that this message resonates with your heart and your spirit. Okay?
So,
There we go.
it feels real strict in the spiritual streets. And it is. And I had I'm telling y'all, like, my ancestral connection is strengthening.
Thank you,
daily.
Mimi.
A lot of y'all ancestors come to me in my dream state, my meditative state. But I want to tell y'all about what specifically happened today, right? So I wakes up early. Well, I really didn't get much sleep last night. But when I stepped outside, it felt like if I could name the energy, I would have to name it the authorities of the underworld. And I received all these downloads simultaneously. And I felt the energy of Anubis. I worked closely with Anubis last year. Anubis is a very big ancestral energy, right? It doesn't matter what you believe in. You could believe in any pantheon you want, right? But the Egyptian pantheon, that's the authoritative pantheon. And Anubis is an energy that doesn't really communicate with spirits or humans, right? Or Mayat, right? These two particular energies, they about moving like clockwork, right? And this is what they do. They move through. So I'm gonna get to the download at the beginning. First of all, Scorpion belongs to Anubis.
Scorpio season. Shout out to all the Scorpios.
The zodiac energy of Scorpion belongs to Anubis, right? So oftentimes he manifests his presence on his realm during Scorpion season. He owns that energy, right? So I want to tell y'all a little bit about who Anubis is and what he does, right? Because many of us, we guarded by this energy. And I'm going to tell you why this ancestral energy, right? It's so authoritative, like, in the underworld, y'all, right? Now, many of you believe in the Orisha and the Lua, right? And these are people, these are energies that are in the underworld. Right along with these powerful energies like Anubis, Mayat, Pitar, Nephthys, all of these, but I want to get down to Anubis and Scorpion and what's going on so that you can understand what we living in and how we guard it. Anubis sits in the Hall of Two Truths with Mayat, right? Now, what they do, their duty, plain and simple, when men and women pass form and we transition, our soul, it comes up for review. When your soul comes up for review, you pass through the Hall of Two Truths on your soulless journey to the afterlife, and you see these two energies, Anubis and Mayat. They don't got no rap for you, right? All they want to know is, do your heart weigh up to the feather? It's not a time where you can explain And I give you that insight about Anubis because I want you to know see what happens when Anubis shows up on this realm. Like now, Anubis is an energy that brings ancestral justice. It's a gift from the ancestral realm. Because when Anubis shows up in the 3D, it's not about games, it's not about playing. It's about this. When he show up, you looking at justice. So everything is weighed up to a feather, right? So and this energy, Anubis, is so powerful that when he comes to this realm, exposure of all things hidden is a normal, because this energy shows wizards, spirits, and demons that nobody is above God's law, right? And he's a representation of the hand of God from the ancestral aspect. So when Anubis show up here on the 3D, when you on the right side of karma, you pass over into your ascension. You begin to have ancestral. It opens up. He opens the way, like Papa Legbar or Eshu. Anubis opened up the ancestral channel. So, in other words, right now, check your heart, right? And anything that ain't right, try to get it out. Because these energies, they don't rap. They don't do no talking. They don't do none of that. They come, and when they come, it's for the duty of those who stand on the right side of karma. They reflect Dharma, a wonderful energy. Those who happen to stand on the wrong side of karma, they get their reward in justice. This is what Anubis is about. And before I leave, I want to say, according to this download, she spoke on the age of Aquarius. And I want to tell y'all, it's the dopest energy, right, that we living in. It's so dope to the point where as though this Aquarius energy, right, it's the universe wiping away everything that's not authentic, right? I'm not even gonna lie to you. It would be safer for you to get a word from a bum who's authentically homeless than to go get a word from somebody who got money and they inauthentic at this point, because the universe is bringing a closure. See, the age of Aquarius, what it did was it released the sigils around the world. Remember, they found Gilgamesh tomb, they found writings, they found the scrolls. As we was heading into the age of Aquarius, they began to find many hidden things. That era is the era of revealing. So as things begin to open up, it's also the energy of wiping out inauthentic energy. Like, it's so crazy, right? Because I got the download. Yo, we headed to a place where if you inauthentic, it's going to be likened to being a crackhead. Ooh. Pretty soon, it ain't going to be about nothing but being authentic.
Because people can read energy now, you know? Like, we've been energy readers, but I feel like, you know, with the age of Aquarius, we are coming into our gifts so strongly that you can't hide from nobody.
You can't hide. It's a time to take accountability. And, you know, we had a wonderful sister take accountability with us about some things, and I felt the energy I released because it wasn't a person that we necessarily suspected to be our opposition in any type of way. Yeah. But her admittance, it's like she's a person that understood. Yo, the ancestors don't deal with a lot of things, real. Right? Now, in authentic business, they don't, because when you inauthentic, anything ancestral see you, because it's detestable. Like nothing but the devil and the energy of the devil lives in inauthentic thing. Anything authentic is connected to source. That's what makes it authentic.
It's the highest vibration.
Authenticity vibrates higher than love.
That's real.
Now, if anything vibrate higher than love, where are you going after you go higher than love? You plugging directly into the energy of God. Yeah. So that goes without saying. Check it. Do the math. The vibration of authenticity has a thought of ranking over love, right? Ain't no other energy out here like it. So this universe is very slick, juxtaposing, and I find it to be a very dope energy. Because without doing nothing, the universe is bringing you everything you need for those that find their authentic self. Like I feel it. Like I feel this weight. Like, you know, it's so many people trying to hold on to a new rightness that's been confirmed in you. It don't got nothing to do with what you was taught. It don't got nothing to do with the way you was trained up. You found the revelation of the Most High, and you struggling to hold on to it.
That's real.
Right? But understand this. As long as you hold it, you authentically being you. So it's things that's coming, it's things being brought into manifestation that the devil is trying to block you from seeing. Like the energy of evil.
Hey, Jazz, you a Libra too? Shout out to the Libras.
The energy of evil can see what's coming for you before you can see it. So what does the devil do? Because see, the devil is an energy reader. Okay? All demonic forces,
You heard me.
they are they consummate energetic readers. So what do?
That's real.
What do the demon do? What did the baneful spirit do? It watches you, right? It sees the reflection from your energy, right? And from there, an evil spirit can determine where you're headed, right?
That's real.
They can't see the hand of divine,
That's real.
but a demonic energy is a very wise and wickedly wise energy.
Yo,
So
that's real.
when you dealing with people that's affected by the demonic, don't go to thinking that they dumb. They smarter than you.
Very smart
and
and
very
patient.
earthly, right? In a way that you won't really understand. So
We can't
never
comprehend.
underestimate the demonic.
That's real.
You have to look at life like this. Why, soon as I grip this new way of doing stuff where I know I'm right inside, everything getting harder. I'm losing things. I keep feeling like, is God really with me? All of that is an illusion that the enemy is putting forth because the enemy can see what's coming to your energetic field.
And that's real. You know, that's why it's so important to speak positive affirmations over our lives.
Yeah.
That's why it's so important to have positive thoughts. See, when we begin to think negatively, the devil, the energy, as you know, some people call it the devil, but the energy of the evil one, as they speak of in the Bible,
Right.
Energy is a frequency, right? So it gives off a vibration. So when we begin to think negatively and speak negatively, here comes that evil one. All right, they need me over here. Let me make it even worse, But it's gonna appear to be better, right? Everything always appears to be better, but like he said, it's an illusion. So I feel like, a lot of us, you divine being, yeah, you looking at us, right? I feel like, you have been stuck in the world of illusions for so long that God was like, no more. Like, there's no more naive you. There's no more, you that pitied their self. There's no more you being the victim. Now it's you standing up for something. Now it's you understanding who you are. See, because I'm talking to a lot of people where you were literally the black sheep of your family. Right? See, we're talking to people that literally, you weren't even meant to survive from birth, right? Maybe your mom was doing things she shouldn't have been doing while she was carrying you. And you weren't meant to make it here, but you made it because the grace of God. See, God's plan was something so much greater than you could even imagine. See, the things that you imagine for your life, God has so much more for you. See, we're not even capable enough to comprehend what he has.
Let me learn you something, right?
Let me learn you something.
That's what they used to say to me when I was young. Let me learn you something. In my purpose as a spirit medium, it's never to guide you to worship of your ancestors, but it's to guide you to the notion that you have to honor them to unlock your power, right? Don't let skullduggeries and misinterpretation of pious scriptures lead you to believe that ancestral energy is demonic or you don't need it. Listen, the only thing the Bible ever said about ancestral spirits was you can't serve God and them at the same time.
That's real.
And everywhere you look, the Bible as well as the Quran, it confirms that we shall honor our ancestors. You know why? Do you realize, divine being, half of the problems that you endure, they belong to you. God is not going to move some of them. You know why? Because he placed the responsibility in you to move it, right? So now you might be questioning, well, you saying God not going to help me, and it's my duty to move this big center block. What power do I tap in? That's where your ancestors come into play.
Real.
You begin to honor them. Never worship your ancestors because all of them ain't right? And it's not about looking at everything as demonic. Them your folks.
That's real.
And that's true.
And some of them are.
They're your folks. Like hell in the Hades, the way that they give it to us with fire and brimstone, that don't got nothing to do with ancestral energy. You got high vibrational ancestors that are venerated by divinity. And then you have low vibrational ancestors that roam around the Hades, right? So I want you to understand, divine being, that everything you're going through, hold on to your struggle. Your struggle is making you authentic. And as you become more authentic, right, you gaining more ancestors, you gaining more protection that you don't understand. And you also gaining more energy against you, right? And then the dynamic becomes a mental chessboard. Because you know what happens? You got things you want to do, then you fight laziness.
Yep, procrastination.
And see, a lot of people don't realize, I'm going to tell you the truth, high priestess. I'd rather have a mean-spirited person in my way than a spirit of laziness.
You heard me.
Because I'm telling you, it's a hard battle.
That's real.
Like, I'd rather be fighting somebody than the spirits of laziness, procrastination, self-sabotage. Any true divine individual that's really trail about their ascension, you gonna go through the energy of everything I'm saying.
Well, you know, and I feel like you probably feel like that because honestly, the spirit of procrastination, the spirit of anxiety, the spirit of depression, that is all connected to evil. See, God is a God of love and compassion. God is a God of truth and not confusion. So those spirits that come upon us is evil, right? And it comes upon all of us, right? But we have to learn how to deal with these spirits when they come.
And don't underestimate them. What she just said, see, in the realm of the Hades, for real, it's known as the ninth realm, right? What they consider hell. I'm giving it to you from an ancestral standpoint. In this realm, the names that she just named, they are the authorities. Anxiety is a spirit. It's a high-ranking negative spirit. Real. Procrastination is a spirit.
And you know what about it? I didn't mean to cut you off, Hierophant, but you know, I think it's very important what he's saying. You know, see, think about it, right? We all have had these spirits upon us, right? Think about when the spirit of depression and anxiety kick in, right? I remember being, you know, and if you're a woman, I'm talking to Divine Feminine real quick. Imagine being in that spirit where you don't want to do anything and you have children to tend to, right? It's a spirit, and that spirit wants to block you from God.
It's a lot as you begin to go on, and I promise you that you're safe over here. Like, I spend a lot of time with the ancestors. She does as well. I have a different type of medium connection, and I'm gonna really say these things because they need to be said.
That's real.
Some of y'all ancestors, they ruthless, right? They very prideful. They can even be petty, right? So it's important that you begin to understand this so that you don't get in the spirituality and get to doing the bidding of your ancestors, right?
That's real, baby.
Some people come into spirituality, they go offering up things to deities. It's not a sacrifice. Let me explain something to you, Divine Being. Don't be going down to nobody crossroads, nobody waterfront, shorefronts, and don't be standing with no veves making sacrifices. Because one sacrifice to the wrong deity, now you trapped in a cycle of sacrifices. And I want to explain to you how they feel when they do this. You know, the baneful ones that like to go play in the dark, they feel that shit. Let me explain something. When they make a sacrifice, that deity wants another sacrifice and another sacrifice. So next thing you know, you offering up stuff that you never intended.
That's
and then
real.
when you have nothing else to offer, the deity comes in and begin to take things that you're not off. That's why you don't want to make sacrifices. If you stepping your foot in the water and you want to honor your ancestors, maybe the Orisha or something like that, always go with an offering.
Ooh.
Okay? Don't never take a sacrifice unless your magic is perfected.
You know, I think that's great that you're speaking about that, Hierophant, because I feel like, you know, when people come into spirituality, that's one of the biggest questions that you and I get, you know, like, so what do I do? You know, because you want to embrace your ancestors. You want to embrace maybe even the Orisha or whatever, right? But all you know is God, which is beautiful, right? And so I think it's good how you speak in regards to we honor our ancestors, but we always give all praise to the Most High. You know, we're not sure what anybody else does on their channels or what they do, but over here, Yahshua, right? Yahweh.
God will always be, whoever your God may be, God is the energy that will always rank above the ancestors. The ancestors are not in the order of the divine, okay? Yeah, some of them have divine venerations, but they are not like Michael and Gabriel. They not made in that fashion. Ancestors are very much an underworld energy. So when you honor them, you know, I feel, I'm gonna give y'all one of my secret recipes to how I started dealing with them. When I welcomed them in to deal with me, you know what I said? I felt all these presents. I said, I welcome y'all in to assist me and work with me, but I'll bind every last one of y'all under the energy of love.
You heard me.
Right? The energy of love covers a multitude of sin. It's true indeed. It's a very powerful authority. You don't never run and do the bidding of your ancestors, right? You agree with that. You find honor in them. You welcome in high vibrational ancestors. You see the low vibrational ones, and you make a discerning decision to be like, yo, this the way I'm going to be with my life and my karma. Because when you live a life that's honorable, they're going to honor you. And they're going to honor you in this universe in a big way. Like, these are the powers that God ordained in Romans 1. In Romans 1, it speaks about honoring God and honoring the powers, right? God and the powers that were ordained. Like, it wouldn't be no ancestors less than God ordained it. And then last but not leastly, for those of y'all that are really not convinced in your heart, because some of us, we hang on to Jesus the wrong way, right? See, we look at Jesus and we don't understand the true power that's in Jesus' name no more, because the world uses Jesus' name in a way where the demonic don't even respect it half the time.
You heard me.
Right? So that's not to take away from Jesus, but let's deal with the energy of Yeshua. Let's call him Yeshua. See, Yeshua, it brings you into the historical version of the one known as the Christ, right? And you know who he worked with when he was here? Remember the transfiguration of Christ? Who was he with? Right? That was the most powerful demonstration that he put forth when he was on this plane. The transfiguration. You know why? He transformed the whole environment, right? To where as though Elijah and Moses showed up in white raiment on the side of Mount Sinai, and the whole scene was lit up, right? And it was all in the mind because Peter, I believe it was Peter, he saw in his mind's eye. You know what he said? He didn't comprehend it. This is what he said, babe. He said, oh, should I be getting something to eat and sitting something down? And they looking at him like, we spirit, dog. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but see, it tells you, like, during this transfiguration, it pretty much tells you that the scene looked like this. Christ was shown in the earthly light, and in one instance it was illuminated, then it went right back to the earthly light. This lets us know the transfiguration of Christ would not have been perceived by the normal eye. Ooh. Peter had an insight into a third eye vision. Ooh. He seen Christ, and you know who Christ was with when he saw him? He was with his ancestors, as he always was. Let me explain something to you about the energy of Christ before we move out. One of the most powerful demonstrations that Christ put forth about honoring his ancestors in a mighty way was during the temptations. When he went into the wilderness for 40 days and 40 nights. Remember this, they say the energy of the shaitan, right? Now this was be a powerful energy, right? The devil came and tempted him, right? Now, what did Christ do when the energy tempted him?
What did he do?
You know what he did? Every time in the book, every time evil asked him a question or proposed something to him in order to snare him, you know what he said? It is written, right? It was written by who? It was written by his ancestors. See, he was spitting Old Testament scriptures that was written by the people in his very bloodline. See how tight he was with his ancestors? He didn't say remember what the devil pretty much said, he looking at him, you know, the energy of Haiti looking at him like, well, this is a powerful man, but who is he, right? So the energy of Haiti say, if you really God's son, throw your son down off this, throw yourself off this mountain. The angels gonna catch you. They ain't gonna let you hit the ground. And you know what Christ told him? It is already written, thou shalt not. See what I'm trying to tell you?
But you see, that's an example of how evil tries to tempt us, even though we know God is there. Right?
Right. Absolutely. And that was a ruminative perspective. Centering around the main focus being what? Every last prophet that balanced themselves out, they did it through contact with the ancestors.
That's real.
Not in the way of a wicked. See, the Bible and a lot of energies, it forbid the normal person from doing certain things, right? But then when you look at the authority of the disciples and the prophets, they did all kind of divinations and I mean, look at Jeremiah, the weeping prophet. He got the biggest book of it. It would be a book like a book that is very prophetic in nature, and it speaks about the energy we live in now. Now, what do you call that? That's seeing.
Well,
that's divining. That's
wasn't also was it Daniel that used to use his wine cup?
Absolutely. Y'all, speaking of Daniel, I'm glad you brought that up. Let me tell you about the energy of Daniel real quick and how he was situated in the world. For all of those that knock people that use different tools to connect with the divine, Daniel was known as the master diviner above all the divining nations that was under the king Nebuchadnezzar, right? You know why? Because the ancestors came in Nebuchadnezzar's dream and put riddles in his mind, right? And David being linked up with them, right? This ancestral energy, this is underworld energy, right? So it was like, they said, Nebuchadnezzar go to Daniel. No, see, Nebuchadnezzar, he was a very wise king.
But he had a blank.
See, this the thing about Nebuchadnezzar that I do respect. He was aware of the powers of the metaphysical, but he knew he was weak. He knew he was spiritually weak, so he surrounded himself by master diviners, right? So he respected that power. But the ancestors, they jumped in with him in a sleep state, right? And they did something to him so bad that he said, I can't play with this. So this is what he said, because see, he started to realize, oh, I'm surrounded by phonies.
Right.
So what he did was he said, I need somebody to come tell me my riddle, and I ain't telling them nothing. And if they get it wrong, I'm slaying them. To make it real. See, he wasn't about no game.
Right.
It was like, you're not going to come in my face and tell me, you're not going to do the Cleo on me. Well, what do you want to know?
Let's hear what your boo thinks about you.
So basically, what Daniel stepped in with master divination energy, right? Daniel was able to interpret the dream. Period. And give them deeper insight. Daniel was so sharp with the divination, y'all, that he turned around and said too much, and Nebuchadnezzar stopped liking him because he saw too much.
And that's real because, even us as, I don't really consider us tarot readers. We do use tarot as a tool. You know, tarot draws in people, right? Because people want to know what's going on. But I feel like, honestly, you know, not to be cocky or anything, I feel like, honestly, the divine gave us real spiritual gifts, you know, that even scare us sometimes. You know, when I go back, because we go back and watch our own messages, because a lot of the messages are for you, but they're for us too. And when we go back and we listen to these messages, you know, we look at ourselves and we know that only God has the power to make these messages come out how they do. You know, so tarot on Elemental Being Station, where you're at, this channel, is literally a tool. We don't worship tarot cards, we worship God, right? So I feel like, you know, it's very important to pay attention to where your guidance is coming from, you know.
Start to feel things out.
There you go.
Let them resonate from your soul.
heart, your
Stop
spirit.
trying to use your mind to figure out what this world is changing so much. In a minute, if you keep on relying on what you know and understand, you're going to miss what's happening right before you, because a lot of what we know and understand is what the universe is pushing away and pushing out, right? Stop looking down on your ancestors. That's the first thing. Thank you, Spirit. Leviticus 25:46. It says, God says he will never ever forget the ancient covenant that he established with your ancestors, right? That's real, right? Like, begin to realize your ancestors are your metaphysical peoples. That's part of your family, right? So let's begin to realize that, y'all. Like, I really don't know what many of you are going through. Empathetically, I feel it. But I do feel overall a very big energy of limited beliefs, right? It's some powerful people and stuck on the brink of your limited beliefs, right? Your belief, your indoctrination is powerful.
Very.
I'm telling you, when they sit you down in a church or a masjid or any of the religious buildings, and they continuously groom you from week to week to week to week about the aspect of God, right? When it comes time for God to step into your life in a real and new way, your indoctrination began to poison it. No lie, like you begin to be like, well, I don't know if I should leave out water for my ancestors, because
maybe what they're doing is dark.
And you not realizing
they might be doing voodoo over there.
You under that's a magic trick of evil, right? And that's one of the darker sides of indoctrination, as well as occultism. Because it's so, thank you, Spirit. There's many religious facets in their facade. Like some of these, they cover up different you know, some of them are houses of voodoo. Some of them are houses of occultic magic. Some of them are truly houses of lust, right? Where
that's real.
You go into these places, like some of these places we go into as children, and as we grow in them and we come out with all type of entity attachments and different odd weird energies that we know.
That's real. And you can realize it as an adult. You look back at the situation
and you be like,
this
yo,
was some dark
you
shit
ever
I was
been,
in.
thank you, Spirit. I don't care where you go at, right? It's never gonna be free of negativity. Because guess what sits at the altar of any church? Guess what sits at a big old demon? It's a sign to that house. See what I'm saying? So when you walk into holy places that consider themselves holy, please understand the biggest demon, when I would do good, evil is always present, right? So don't never go unless you don't become, what I say, this divine being with passion. Don't become vulnerable in your spirit. I don't care where you at. You could be in the masjid, you could be in a concert hall, you could be a member of the church, right? Don't become vulnerable.
That's real.
Every place got wickedness. And if they promoting that they don't have wickedness, run out of there, right? You need something that's going to feed you balance.
Authenticity.
You need something that's going to really groom you to the energies that you can't see that's negative. And indoctrination, what happens? Everybody begin to do what everybody doing.
That's
See,
real.
if I come up with a congregation, right, full of people, right, and I got schism in my game plan, when I speak out my mouth, the energy of schism is be falling on my congregation. So I can expect schism to show up in them.
That's real.
It don't matter. See, when a man stand on them high places and speak out that spirit right there, it affects everybody that listens. That's why you're not supposed to listen to everybody.
You heard me.
And when you do, you're supposed to use discernment, because indoctrination is very powerful. Like this, and then I'm gonna let it go. And I'm asking my divine family, soul family, collective. Right now, we not supporting nothing that's not revealing everything
And that's
to
real.
us.
Standing on business.
Spirit say that's done. Like if I was a part of anything, right? And when I look back on it, I can see, well, I wasn't told this, I wasn't told that, I wasn't showed this, I wasn't showed that. Spirit saying, depart from it. Forget you ever knew it. No lie, because
But you literally have to do that anyway. Like
What?
when you are literally, and this is real, when you are going on a spiritual journey and you're really trying to find out who God is and what God is and who you are and what you are,
separation mandatory.
you have to literally forget everything you knew. You know, no matter how smart or educated you think you are, you literally have to drop everything you know and literally be willing to learn everything all over again. And that's real.
And I feel like as we going into it, some of that respect that you got for these people in this earth that you consider
Ideology.
your old heads, or you consider to be, maybe you should turn some of that respect onto some of your ancestors that earned the right to be deemed that in your life, because they done guarded you, they done protected you, right? And meanwhile, it's like, I used to do it. And Spirit want me to say,
Me
listen
too.
to the, my father, he did a lot of things that may have been displeasing, right? My father was a whole divine being out here in the streets. I'm talking about the gift of seeing from a long line of what you would call witches, warlock, wizards, all. But my grandmother, Alice, she was a very powerful shaman, a spirit medium. So mediumship runs in my family. But you know what my era was growing up? I fought powerful evil energies, right? As a kid, right? I can tell you some stories that'll make you cringe, right? But you know what evil had convinced me I should do? I should knock my dad because of all of the evilness and different things that I perceived him doing. He wasn't a good man, right? But you know what that did in my life? You see me with this drum? This is my first drum I ever owned in my life. And I beat it like I know it, because I do. Because when I was a baby, my daddy had drums, right? And when I began to look in my shadow and cleanse my energy out, I had to go and deeply forgive and ask, and I had to forgive him, right? But I had to be willing to say I need forgiveness for the way that I looked at my own daddy, bro. Like, who walks around and look, and we wonder why we got a problem. Yo, you can't walk around and hold a grudge with your transition ancestor and expect to be a person where things gonna go smoothly.
That's real.
They ain't gonna step in and help you do nothing, right?
And then, you know, I'm glad you said that because, you know, I think it's very important that the Hierophant is speaking about this, right? Because we do have some family members, Divine Being, that you could have a family member that literally was a piece of shit on earth, right?
But it be a guardian, though.
There it is.
The energy, see, let me explain something to y'all. That's what me and my daddy go through. My daddy is powerful in my life right now and everything right.
That's real.
You know why? Because I done right where he was weak,
Yep.
where he was too weak to do right.
Yep.
See, my story is different. I had to go down there, y'all, I had to go down there to that place and fix what he did some wrong shit that gets your bloodline cursed. So I had to go down there, and that took a lot of, that was like, are you sure? Because, you know, your daddy fucked it up. But guess what? The beauty in it all is, the minute I began my ascension, I felt him free up in the yamas, right? And I feel him in my life, bound by the energy of love. I'm able to do what? I'm able to inherit his strengths, like his drumming, his ability to rationalize, his wisdom, his strength, right? I'm inheriting all these things. Why? He give, you know what ancestral inheritance means? You get to gaining things. It ain't about money or will, right? It's about things in you that they gonna put on you when you deem yourself worthy. It's like the worst thing to do is be dishonorable to your ancestors, and many of us are. Like, we look at our family, we don't come from much. So we carry the energy of, well, I ain't got nothing. The one before me ain't had nothing. We ain't never really been about. It ain't never like that. Don't never let you got powerful ancestors that work hard for it. Every one of us that's here, you got high vibrational ancestors.
And that's
right?
real.
But you gotta really allow them to pull you into. Thank you, Spirit. See, what's our purpose for this day and time? We gotta reach. We have to reach the past life energy. We all gotta go through a certain amount of past life regression, y'all, because this day is about becoming the best version of you. And the best version of you is from a past life, right? Where we did, see, the world was highly spiritual at one time, you know? Like many of the things we did, people forget. But you ever notice how you got a niche for them, right? You notice how everything that you were strong in your past life, it's in you. It just needs to be developed. The things that you're drawn to naturally, the things that you just, trust me, once your ancestors give you your Akashic records, it fuse everything. Y'all, I try to pick this drum up and just,
that's real.
next thing you know, it start coming. So I want y'all to realize this thing is real, man. These powers, they real. And we you know, it's like, it's not my duty to confuse anybody. It's my duty to bring understanding to the mind of people. And most importantly, before I step off, I want to help people understand God and your ancestors. Stop trying to put them on the same frequency.
Facts. God is
they not on the same frequency, y'all.
Ancestors are here.
And because if you do that, you're gonna be scared to do anything. You're gonna end up being a whole spiritual mess.
Well, also it takes, you know, doing that, it takes your faith away from God, you know.
When you do this, you become a mess because you be a person that do this. Well, you be like, well, do I need to pray or do I need to ask my ancestors for help?
Do what you
right?
been doing,
or is God mad at me because, or do I need to go and get my ancestors? You gotta realize first of all,
I need a spiritual cleanse. On the ones and twos.
See the God in you. See the God in you that connects you with the God out of you, and then see your ancestors as an extension of your vibration in many multiverse ways, right? They there on many dimensions, but it's not the same frequency as the divine God. That's divinity, y'all. So much so, and then I'm gonna tap out, but I gotta teach. You know what the energy of God really is?
What's that, babe?
People think the energy of God lives in heaven.
It lives within us.
The energy of God never claimed residency in heaven either. Even in the Bible, you know what God made? He made heaven for other creations to live in. He had a throne there. It never said he lived there, right? No man knows the essence of the divine, right? That tetragrammatron energy, don't nobody know that. Not and the ones that walk close to God, like the archangels, Michael, Gabriel, and all of them. you're not gonna get nothing from them. They solid authority. So I say that to say nobody knows the plan of the divine. So don't never try to mix and match the two.
Right, that's real.
Stay underneath of God. That's where your protection lies. Don't be in so far with your ancestors that the low vibrational ones tricking you, and don't hold authority when you deal with them. Talk to them. Just look. I ain't playing with y'all today. I'm not playing around this whole
I hear
today.
you doing it all the time.
Yeah, you gotta tell them I'm not playing around with this whole today.
You know, you so spiritual though.
I wake up sometime,
you a
y'all,
different
and
kind
be
of
like,
being, babe.
or I be doing the reading, and here they come, right?
Like, don't come. No, I'm not saying that.
I'm not doing that. And they pop out the yamas
Once you
and
say
be like,
something crazy.
they be like, say this crazy shit, ooh, right? And I be looking at it and be like, and I love to do ancestral reading, but yo, everything in that underworld ain't good.
That's real.
So don't jump in there. Oh, I got my ancestors, boy. I'm down here now. Yeah, I shade to the ancestors. Make sure you got a medium balance where though don't be worshiping them now. You go talk to them, sit down with them. They your equals, right? They have the metaphysical on lock. So you honor them. And you know the way that we honor them? We honor them by the same science that we remember them to adhere to.
You heard
right?
me.
Because they still the same energy. When you leave out a glass of water, right? That's symbolic. But what it's doing is such a powerful symbolism that you know how many ancestors quench their thirst off of your offering?
Because in the spiritual realm, details are important.
Detail, yeah, like a glass of water. That look at it like this. Thank you, Spirit. Remember in the energy of the Bible you read to me one time, and it was talking about the oil that would never run out.
That's right. That was with the raven, Elijah.
Right, Elijah. It was I think it was some oil and bread, and the lady gave it to the prophet. And Elijah was slick with it, but you talking about spirit. Elijah told us something to the effect of, look, I know the lady said we about to go eat this little bit of food and go
we ain't
die.
Got nothing left. Yeah,
listen, she said we about to eat this food and get ready to go die because ain't nothing else. Elijah said, hold up, let me tell you something. Give me that, and God ain't gonna let you go without. But I'm feed me, right? Because I'm connected. I'm on my purpose. And you know what happened? She did that. The oil never ran out. Well, when you let that water sit out for your ancestors, right? Just think of them as all coming to drink from water that will never run out. Because it's coming through your intention. When you leave that food out for them, right? Think of all the ancestors coming to the same hot plate, right? While your intentions is that strong in the metaphysical. You know the metaphysical is a mirroring world. It's right here. You just can't see. It's all kind of energies right now that you can't really see.
Because our eyes,
our vision is,
the way they're structured, like angels and different things. A lot of times our eyes can't comprehend them. So sometimes you might see like flashing lights.
Yeah.
You ever been sitting down and you might see like a little
something
flash
move,
past your eyes or
right.
something move really quick? It's because our human eyes.
It can't detect the movement of metaphysics. Yeah, 5D presences, they manifest in the physical in such an awkward way that it's not comprehensible.
Facts.
So we don't be knowing what we saw. You know, some of them are so dense, right, that if you hyper empathetic like us and you become sensitive, sometimes you can be somewhere and you'll be like, yeah, right? And you feel them as much as they feel you.
That's real.
You know, this is the energy of what Christ walked in. See, when they speak of Christ, crusher of the wicked, it's assimilated to the crystals. And in order for the crystals to be activated through your bendu and create a drip, the pineal gotta be decalcified. Then you can see.
That's real.
See what I'm saying? Yo, we got two eyes right here, but the one right here is calcified.
That's why y'all see us wear bindu a lot. So
Yeah.
if you ever see it, we don't have any bindu on tonight.
It's a symbolism that
But that's why we wear it.
is a very it's a cultural symbolism for being tapped in. The Bendu, right? Because this is where it happens. It's the crystals. It comes from up, it hits us, it goes to the Bendu chakra, and it creates a nectar inside of your brain that leaks and it decalcifies your third eye. And as your third eye becomes decalcified, then you begin to see all of this real clear, like without a shadow of a doubt. But
So
we're gonna let High Priest
no,
jump
what we're
in.
gonna do is, guys, this was such an amazing session.
Okay.
It was so real and raw that we have gone over our time.
Yes.
So what we're gonna do is I'm going to end this live, and then I will be back 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which will be 5 minutes, and we'll go in with a tarot energy reading so that the video is not so long.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we will be back in about 4 minutes, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you guys enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a thumbs up. Make sure you hit the all bell, the all whatever it is, so that you don't miss when we are live, all of our notifications. We want to thank you guys so much if you stayed to the end. Okay, this message was definitely for you. We totally appreciate our soul tribe. We hope that you guys are, feeling great after this session. And, if you want a live energy / tarot reading, we'll be back in 4 minutes. We love you guys. We elemental beings.